Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to scroll on in, tune in before I start diving into the topic for today. Hopefully, y'all having a peaceful Saturday thus far, man. Y'all going into the evening nice and peaceful, nice and centered, nice and healthy. Got an important topic I want to cover real quick. So hopefully you all take time out, man, to just tune in real quick. Get some of these jewels, get some of this information. This is pivotal information. Information that they more than likely will strive to conceal. So that's why I feel like it's important to talk about it right now, this very moment when these articles are surfacing. Magic Realms, peace. What's going on with you? How you living, man? How your Saturday going, man? But yeah, I need to tackle this information. Dizzy, peace. What's going on with you, bro? I gotta tackle this information, man, before the myths start spreading and the lies, before they start fabricating this information. Amber, peace. What's going on with you? Master the Day, Body and Mind Fitness. What's up with you, bro? How you living? Where's the Scope Guy? Peace. What's going on? Brandon Callens, what's going on? Peace. Yeah, we got some articles. We got some articles coming out, man. And I gotta attack it early and quick. I don't know if you all have seen these articles, but it's new research out here. The theory is that vitamin D deficiency is quadrupling, basically increasing the risk or the chance of a person that comes down with COVID or gets diagnosed with COVID. A vitamin D deficiency is exponentially increasing their chances of dying. Okay, so if you're deficient in vitamin D, you come down with COVID-19, you have a higher chance. They say the rates are quadruple for people that have a vitamin D deficiency. So if you are deficient in vitamin D, then you have a higher chance of dying if you come across COVID-19. Chances are it will wreak a lot of havoc. Anthony, peace. Yeah, so that's the theory. Now, what are the experts saying? They already trying to silence this information. They already trying to manipulate the people. So they countered it real quick. So as soon as those articles start to surface, what do I see when I Google it? Well, the experts are saying, guess what? And I need y'all to pay attention to what I'm about to say. The experts are saying that there is insufficient evidence to corroborate that theory, to corroborate that claim. Listen to what I'm telling you all. The experts are telling you that it's insufficient evidence to corroborate the claim that vitamin D deficiency increases your chances of dying when you get the COVID-19. Insufficient evidence. Why do I keep repeating that? The reason why I'm focusing on them saying it's insufficient evidence in regards to that particular claim is because they have just told on themselves. How quickly did they come out with this vaccine? How quickly did they come out with this vaccine? And how many people did they test this vaccine on to prove that the vaccine is effective? So that's why I'm focusing on them saying insufficient evidence in regards to, because a lot of people, once that article came out, then they felt like the way to treat a person that has COVID-19, or even to take preventative measures, then you should supply them with vitamin D. Now, it's not that simple, but that's taking a better path. But the reason why I want to focus on the insufficient evidence, because they gave the people this vaccine, did not really know if this vaccine was safe and effective. Definitely insufficient evidence in regards to this vaccine being effective. But that is not stopping them from pushing this vaccine on the masses. There is not enough evidence for us to co-sign this vaccine, for us to line up and get this vaccine. but they want us to get this vaccine, even although there's insufficient evidence that this vaccine will actually work. Insufficient evidence for this vaccine, but they still pushing it. But then when you come out and say lack of vitamin D, basically a lack of vitamin D, it compromises the immune system. It destroys the immune system. Vitamin D is crucial in regards to building up and strengthening the immune system. So a lack of vitamin D will weaken your immune system. So there is truth to that. Nikki Peace, what's going on? So when you come out and say that, because now what's happening? When you tell people that vitamin D deficiency is causing problems, well, now you're looking at holistic health. You're looking at people taking a natural remedy, a natural approach. Well, if vitamin D deficiency is causing these problems, then what am I going to do? I'm going to strive to get the vitamin D. And I'm going to probably have to get that in supplement form if I'm not in a warmer climate right now and can't get enough sunlight. So that's what's going to happen. So if people come out and if the articles come out and say lack of vitamin D is causing problems, it makes you more susceptible to pass away if you get the COVID-19, then people are going to run to get vitamin D. They're not going to run to get a vaccine. So as soon as those articles started to surface, they had to counter it. That's letting you know how they operate. As soon as they came out and they said vitamin D deficiency quadruples your chances of dying if you come down with COVID-19, they had to say it's insufficient evidence to corroborate that claim, to confirm that, to validate that. Insufficient evidence. But they giving people a vaccine. They want people to line up for a vaccine where the evidence is actually telling you that you shouldn't get the vaccine. But all of a sudden now we have sufficient evidence for this vaccine, and we supposed to line up and get this vaccine, but it's insufficient evidence in regards to the role that vitamin D plays in building up the immune system. That's interesting. I find that very interesting. All these people experiencing the adverse reactions from the vaccine, they telling you right now, if you experience allergies or allergic reactions to foods, medicine, they telling you that you need to stay away from the vaccine. So it's a lot of negatives, a lot of bad side effects that's coming with this vaccine, that's coming with getting this vaccine. So where's the sufficient evidence that this vaccine is working? We have no sufficient evidence. But the science has been out here letting you know that vitamin D is crucial in regards to building up the immune system. So it's funny how they attack that. They attack that quickly. There's insufficient evidence. Vitamin D cannot help you if you have COVID-19. It can't help you prevent COVID-19. Insufficient evidence. They had to kill that quickly. But they finna tell you that it's sufficient evidence for this vaccine. Man, you just see how they did that. I'm here to tell you that you have better chances of making sure you get the proper amount of vitamin D, an adequate amount of vitamin D, opposed to getting that vaccine. Your chances are better, man, of increasing your dosage of vitamin D, getting that sunlight if you're in warmer climates. If you're not, then you definitely should look into getting a supplement. And the supplement that I get for vitamin D is vitamin D3 and B12 is Mary Ruth. So I would recommend looking that up on Amazon. Mary Ruth, it's a vitamin B12 and D3 combo. It's in gummy form. So definitely, if you're not in a warmer climate and you're not able to get that sunlight, then it is very crucial, very important, very imperative that you get it in supplement form, because vitamin D is crucial in regards to your immune system. And that's not what they're going to tell us. That's why they had to shoot that down. They don't want to make it seem as if the remedy to combat, or the way to combat COVID-19, or the way to combat this virus is through what you eat. It's through the vitamins and the minerals. They don't want that type of knowledge to get out here. So that's why they have to counter that and neutralize it and say there's not enough evidence. There has been enough evidence. You can look up vitamin D right now. Just type in vitamin D and immune system, and you're going to see the correlation right there. You're going to see that if you have an adequate amount of vitamin D, then you are less susceptible to getting colds, like the flu and other viruses. You can type that in. That's probably going to pop up on the first page on Google. Like the science has been out there. The science has been out there. Alonzo, I got you. I'm gonna post a link to the book. But that's funny to me. That's funny to me. So anytime information comes out here that they telling you basically you can combat this virus, you can prevent this virus via getting a proper amount of vitamins and minerals, they got to combat it. Insufficient evidence. They need to show me the evidence that's showing and proving that this vaccine is decreasing your chances of getting this virus. We don't have evidence like that, man, because not enough people have even gotten the vaccine in the first place to prove that theory to be correct. So they telling us there's insufficient evidence about the vitamin D, but we definitely don't have enough evidence to show and prove that this vaccine is effective. They are only telling us it's effective, but we know, we have been knowing that vitamin D is effective in regards to strengthening your immune system. And when you're talking about a virus, the main thing that you want to protect is your immune system. The main thing that you want to strengthen is your immune system. So why not supply my body with the proper amount of vitamins and minerals that will help strengthen the immune system? And then another thing they don't want to tell you, what group of people are more than likely to be deficient in vitamin D? Black people. Who needs vitamin D more so than any other group? Black people. We need more vitamin D than any other group of people, and we tend to be more deficient because we need more. We tend to be more deficient because we need more. So we not out here. We not in touch with our true nature. So we don't get outside. We don't get that sunlight. So more than likely, if you are black, then you probably do not have, or you probably are not getting the required amount of vitamin D on a daily basis. 9 times out of 10, if you are not in a warmer climate and you don't take a vitamin D supplement, chances are high that you do not get the proper amount or the required amount of vitamin D on a daily basis. Chances are high. And black people need more vitamin D than other groups. So therefore, we tend to be more deficient in vitamin D. So that's another reason why they had to come neutralize that information. That's another reason, because the agenda didn't leak out. If they telling you if you deficient in vitamin D, that quadruples your chances, or your chances of dying if you come across the COVID or you get the COVID. Who does that impact the most? Who does that impact the most? That impacts black people. That impacts black people. So that's crazy. That's why they striving to cover this up. They know we need the most vitamin D. They know we are the most deficient in vitamin D. We don't get the proper amount of vitamin D. We not in tune. We not in tune. We are not in tune at all. So they done took us away from nature, and we need more sunlight. We need more sunlight than most, and we not getting it. Therefore, we tend to be more deficient when it comes to vitamin D. And now they got a virus out here towards attacking that immune system, and vitamin D is very crucial in regards to strengthening the immune system. And there you go. So that's the agenda. The agenda is coming out. Snuggle 668, appreciate the donation, man. And when it comes to vitamin D plays a lot of roles in regards to our physiology. Vitamin D is also important for calcium absorption and magnesium. So magnesium and vitamin D play a role in whether or not the calcium is being absorbed. So you need adequate vitamin D to make sure you are getting the proper amount of calcium, and it's also important for the immune system. Vitamin D is crucial in regards to strengthening and building up the immune system. But vitamin D has a lot of roles. Those are like the main roles, though, to make sure the calcium is being properly absorbed, and then just strengthening up the immune system. And a lot of people refer to vitamin D as more so a hormone and not necessarily a vitamin. But that's another topic. But man, those are like the main 2 things to be concerned about when it comes to vitamin D. So if you are deficient in vitamin D, chances are calcium is not being absorbed properly by the body, and chances are your immune system is weak. And Master Tube, that's exactly what's happening. So, and Master Tube, I'm glad you said that. Everybody about to start buying vitamin D. That's exactly what's about to happen. That's exactly why they had to neutralize that. They don't want people buying vitamin D. They want people going to get vaccines. They don't want people going. They don't want people because the brand that I mentioned, that's a plant-based brand. That's a plant-based brand. They don't want people going out here supporting those type of businesses. They want you to go get that vaccine. That's where the money is to be made at. So they want you to go run and get that vaccine. They don't want you going to get some vitamin D. So they got to tell you that this vitamin D is not effective. Sean Steed, I definitely heard about the lady passing out. 6 times. And I saw another article, and my brother just sent it, but I saw another article that talked about this same lady basically saying how the not the virus, but the vaccine is safe and effective. So the same lady that passed out, she's saying that it's safe and effective. But apparently she passed out 6 times, and they did this live. Like, I mean, but we already knew that. We already knew the side effects that came to vaccines. Some articles tried to warn us before people even start signing up to be the test dummy and the guinea pig. It was articles already letting you know that if you get this vaccine, this may happen to you if you get the first strand. Yeah, Quiz, and that's why I'm making this. This is why I'm making this video right now. This is why I'm doing this stream right now. Because if you try right now is the best time to get that vitamin D right now. Because it's about to be just like when you walked into the stores and couldn't get any paper towels and tissue. Vitamin D, you about to stop seeing vitamin D. You about to stop seeing vitamin D. Vitamin D, you are no longer about to see vitamin D. But then they're not going to break down the true science of vitamin D. So vitamin D doesn't work well in isolation. So I'm going to give y'all some science. I believe I put this in my book, but vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. So you need to eat or consume a healthy fat along with vitamin D so that it can be properly absorbed. So that's all that a fat soluble vitamin is. You have to make sure you are consuming that vitamin D. So if you're taking a supplement, you need to make sure you are consuming healthy fats along with that vitamin D. Coconut oil is a decent fat for it, like olive oil, sesame oil, things of that nature. You need to make sure you are consuming a healthy fat along with vitamin D because it's a fat soluble vitamin. You can even consume avocados. Avocados are high in fat. Then you can even consume seeds. Seeds are high in fat. Whatever it is, something that has a decent amount of fat, healthy fats, you need to make sure you are consuming them along with the vitamin D so that it can be properly absorbed. If you're just taking the vitamin D supplement and you're not consuming a healthy fat along with it, then it is not being properly absorbed by the body. This is the type of stuff that they won't teach to people. So people are going to go out here and they're going to get vitamin D. And for the most part, they probably going to fail to consume a healthy fat along with it. You know, we like to do it. We like to consume the unhealthy fats, man, the trans fatty acids and stuff like that. And then we're going to do that and then wonder why the vitamin D supplement is not working. You got to consume it along with a healthy fat. See, these vitamins and these minerals, they don't work well in isolation. They need other vitamins and minerals along with them to be consumed along with them so they can be properly absorbed and do the function that's required of them. Fungi, Mary Ruth. It's a vitamin B12 and D3 combination. It's a gummy, Mary Ruth. You can look it up on Amazon. Mr. Know-It-All, I'm not a fan. I mean, of course, you know I'm vegan, so I don't do the fish oil. I'd rather you do something like hemp seeds or flax seeds opposed to the fish oil. Like hemp seeds or flax seeds be perfect in regards to being a healthy fat that you consume. And hemp seeds, man, are delicious. So I suggest like hemp seeds, flax seeds, even chia seeds. One of the three, but I would probably suggest hemp seeds if you're looking for that healthy fat to consume along with the vitamin D. Sunflower seeds definitely good. So they coming out. So it's about to be, you about to see a lot of people talk about vitamin D. So that's why I wanted to touch on it before it became a thing. Like it's already semi thing, but it's about to become heavier. Because a lot of people about to start running, getting vitamin D, but they're not understanding the true science behind what they really need to do to make sure the vitamin D actually works. Lindell, most definitely. And a lot of people don't know in regards to calcium. A lot of people don't know that it's like a trio: calcium, vitamin D, magnesium. You really need magnesium for the calcium to be absorbed by the body. But vitamin D is important too. But a lot of people think that they just need to drink a lot of milk and things of that nature. I know a lot of people that drink cow's milk and they have brittle bones. For one, that milk is not designed for us. But secondly, if you're not getting a proper amount of magnesium along with the vitamin D, for the most part, that calcium is not being absorbed. Quez, the Scope guy, you can, or it's actually a decent brand. I think it's like Organic Earth, I believe, man. Hemp seeds. I can't remember the brand off top, man, but you could just type in like organic hemp seeds on Amazon and find a decent brand of hemp seeds. So we gotta be mindful. We gotta be mindful of what's about to go down. All of a sudden, you're probably about to start seeing limited amounts of vitamin D being available. You about to start seeing limited amounts of this vitamin D being available. And we can't have that because, like I said, we tend to be the most deficient in vitamin D, black people, that is. And it's already during the colder, it's during the colder months here. So they already letting you know, like I said, the agenda basically leaked. Somebody leaked the agenda. We already knew that this was agenda. And Jamar, that's correct. But we already knew that this was the agenda, but it leaked on them because they let you know. But we already know this because we didn't already discuss this. A virus, it attacks the immune system. So we already knew that who this was impacting the most. And then for the most part, I had a conversation with a client, and she was talking to me about, the stuff that she was reading about the virus, and, more black people are dying of the virus than any other group of people. I had to just break down the science to you. I said it's the science to her. And I was like, why that is? And she said, why is that? She didn't know. So I said, you got to just think about what you just said. Black people are dying the most in regards to COVID-19, this whole pandemic. Well, who is the sickest people in this particular country? Who are the most unhealthiest people in this particular country? It would be black people. So it's no surprise that this virus is taking us out at a higher rate than any other group of people, because we are the sickest group of people in this particular country. And that is by design. That is by design. We can go all the way back to slavery to show how this is by design, when they gave us the least desirable foods and we called it soul food. So we can go back to that time. So that's by design. So it's not a coincidence that this virus that attacks the immune system, it's not a coincidence that this type of virus is unleashed on the people. It's not a coincidence, because who has the weakest immune system on this side of town? Not a coincidence. D3 master the day, body and mind fitness. So it's crazy. It's crazy. TZ Frank, what's going on with you, my brother? So it ain't no such thing as a coincidence. No such thing. No such thing as a coincidence. It is a reason why this type of virus was unleashed on the people. And they coming out, leaking information, talking about vitamin D deficiency makes you more susceptible to dying from the COVID. Oh my goodness, what group of people need vitamin D the most? What group of people are the most deficient in vitamin D? Come on, man. They throwing it right in our faces. Throwing it right in our faces. They throwing it right, and then they trying to neutralize and they trying to cover it up right in our face. Right in our face, man. Again, like that, like I said, that's why I had to jump on it, because this is crucial. This is crucial. TZ Frank, other than the sunlight, other than getting some sun, one of the best sources of vitamin D, like a plant-based source, are mushrooms, believe it or not. And then you have like fortified, like they put some vitamin D in some of the non-dairy milks, like what they call fortified vitamin D. But man, for you can get vitamin D in mushrooms, believe it or not. And then it's also important that you cook the mushroom. So you got to remember that you got to cook the mushroom. But mushrooms are a decent plant-based source, or like vegan source of vitamin D, if you don't want to take a supplement. So I recommend just consuming some mushrooms, man. Mushrooms are very crucial. And I wrote about that in my book too. I talked about consuming mushrooms to build up the immune system. Oh, Jamar, yeah, you can cancel Christmas on me getting the vaccine. It almost like I felt like this was coming. I honestly just felt like this was coming, man. That's why I left corporate America, because I left corporate America before this actually came to a head and whatnot. But I just saw this coming. I was like, let me get out of corporate America, because I feel like they're going to try to force this vaccine in the line of work that I'm in. I feel like they're going to try to force this vaccine on us. I'm not going to get the vaccine. So then I'm going to be without a job, because they're going to use that as another way to discriminate against people that look like me. So I'm already going to, I'm going to take this L. So I'm going to be out here with no job. I said, let me get ahead of this curve. Let me leave corporate America and do my own thing. Therefore, I don't have to abide by their policy. I just felt like this was coming. It hasn't really happened yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Brandon, that's peace. Lindell, I do not recommend protein shakes at all. I only recommend making your own protein shakes. Like, get you some bananas, and if you can't do peanut butter, like almond butter, sunflower butter, get you some seeds, like the hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, throw them in that blender, man, and make your own protein shake. But the little protein powders, I don't necessarily recommend them, because in the long term, they can destroy your kidneys. And that's what I was talking about, Jamar. It's crazy because when this video first started, I talked about how they said that there's insufficient evidence to prove that vitamin D will help treat patients with COVID, to help them recover. Like, it's insufficient evidence to prove that theory or to prove that claim, but we have sufficient evidence to prove that this vaccine is effective. Like, that don't even make any sense. We do have sufficient evidence to prove that vitamin D helps people with viruses, help people recover from viruses. We do have that type of evidence. That is age-old information. Like I said, you can literally Google this and you will see that vitamin D is one of the main things that will help a person overcome a cold, the flu, a virus. So we do have sufficient evidence. So for them to say we don't have sufficient evidence is a lie, because we do have it. CJ, no. Depending on the salads are cool. Yeah, eating salads daily is cool. Yeah, so again, like I was mentioning, if you getting your vitamin D, make sure you consuming it with a healthy fat. That is important, because vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. I think it's A, D, E, and K. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins. So when you consuming anything that vitamin A, D, E, or K, you need to make sure you consuming it with a healthy fat. Yeah, Joe Moms, and that's the reason why I said you more than likely, if you black, you more than likely to be deficient of vitamin D, because let's be real, most of us don't get enough sunlight on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, so if you black and you're not in a warmer climate, it's like if you where I'm at, then more than likely you're not getting enough sunlight on a daily basis. Chances are, like, you got a 99% chance of being deficient in vitamin D if you are in the cooler climates. Now, if you're in the warmer climates, then you probably going outside, you probably getting the proper amount of sunlight. If you getting the proper amount of sunlight, you don't have anything to worry about, you good. But if you're not getting the proper sunlight, the proper amount of sunlight, and you black, you're not getting the proper amount of vitamin D. Thunder Scorpion, peace, what's going on with you? Oh, Fungate, the observer. That ain't even an opinion. That's an actual fact. We the original people of the planet Earth. That ain't even opinionated. That's a fact, and they know that. They know that, and let our food be our medicine. Like, that's the way that we was living and all that type of good stuff. But you even got a lot of black people. Surprisingly enough, you have a lot of black people that are like co-signing this vaccine, man. A lot of black people that be on like conscious platforms, or what they call conscious platforms. You got a lot of black people that be on these type of platforms that are actually co-signing this vaccine. So that's interesting. That's interesting. It's starting to lead me to question, like, who all being paid off out here? Because if you got any type of consciousness in regards to like black history and things of that nature, then you would not be co-signing this vaccine. So if anybody that got any type of elementary knowledge on black history, and they so-called conscious, and they out here co-signing a vaccine, I feel like they being paid. I feel like they being paid off, because that don't even make any sense. Like that. I mean, that literally doesn't make any sense for a black person that has like elementary knowledge, like on black history and the things that were done to us via this system, for them to come out co-signing a vaccine. I got to question you. I question any black person that's out here co-signing this vaccine. And I'm talking about the black people that claim they know a little something. I'm questioning all of y'all. If you out here co-signing this vaccine and you claim to have this information and you claim to be for your people and you on these platforms and you co-signing this vaccine, you done been paid. You an agent. You working for them people. You working for them people, because that makes no sense. We got book after book after book that tell you that this system then destroyed your people. They didn't lace mosquitoes up with viruses and sent those mosquitoes to black populations and infected them with the virus. Like, this is the type of stuff that this same system that you talking about producing a vaccine that's effective for your people. That's some of the same wicked stuff that they done did. Now you telling me you gonna trust them? You finna co-sign that? You done been paid off. Because what they say, everybody got a price. So you'd have been paid off. You'd have been paid off. Hey, Jamar, at the end of the day, a lot of black people get mad at how I view Trump. I don't even have a problem with Trump. At the end of the day, Trump is honest. He lets me know how he truly feels, and I can rock with that, opposed to the closet racists or the white person that's in the closet. Like, in my face, they acting like they my friend, but really, when it come down to it, when it come down to get dirty, they not gonna be on my team. They're not gonna be on my side. I'd rather you come out and say, look, if this all goes down, I'm gonna try to take you out. I'm gonna try to kill you. I'm gonna ride for my people. I respect that more than the person that's in the closet. I respect that more than I respect that white person that's in the closet. If you come out and just let me know how you truly feel, and that's what Donald Trump would do. And then again, I went to school for business, so I had to study Donald Trump a lot. So I was hip to a lot of the ways that Donald Trump moves before he, before he became president. So I was already hip to what he was doing. Man. Basically, Donald Trump is just like, I don't want to call him a marketing genius, but that's pretty much a lot of the stuff that he say and do is shock value. He just want to keep the people talking about him. That's all that he be doing. That's business 101. He's of the belief that all publicity is good publicity. That's his view. So he don't care whether you talking bad about him, whether you talking good about him. He just likes being talked about. That's Donald Trump's belief. And I learned that from studying him by being in business school. Antoinette, peace, what's going on? So that's all Donald Trump is. So a lot of times Donald Trump may not even believe his own words. He's just doing that for shock value. He just wants people to talk about him. I learned a long time ago and another reason why I can prove that, Donald Trump got a lot of older books, right? When you read a lot of these older books by Donald Trump, the man is talking sense. He's making all the sense in the world. The persona that y'all see when he became president, when you read some of those older books, you like, man, that seemed like a cool dude. So that's all a facade, man. This little act that he putting on as a president, that's a facade, man. That's a facade. He doing that to keep people talking about him. And he did a good job at that. Not necessarily saying I want to be his friend. I don't really care. I don't care for the people like that. But what I'm saying is I can respect his honesty. Yeah, Jamar, most definitely. And that's what I was telling people. When everybody came out talking bad about Donald Trump, I was like, man, just some years ago, you couldn't find a rap artist, man. You couldn't find an MC that didn't mention Donald Trump in the song. Man, y'all just watch Jeezy versus Gucci Mane, and y'all know Jeezy had that line. He Donald Trump in a white tee and white ones. You already know I'm Midwest. We already know Nelly talked about it. Method Man had Donald Trump skits on his albums. Man, I'm talking about, man, the list goes on. Master P said Donald Trump is one of his biggest influences. In his book, Guaranteed Success. Get that book by Master P, Guaranteed Success. He talked about the people who influenced him the most. Donald Trump is one of the first names he mentioned. So it's like, man, come on, man. We was idolizing the man. So he put on that show because he knew basically what Donald Trump did was he knew what politics really was. Politics is entertainment. It's like wrestling. And Donald Trump knew that. So he preyed on that. He played on that. That's all. He pimped the system. Donald Trump knew that this is a game, and that's exactly how he moved. Basically, when they say it's chess, not checkers, Donald Trump knew that this was a game, and he played it like it was a game. He didn't take it serious. And that's what a lot of people were saying. Man, I can't believe we got this clown in office. Donald Trump basically did that to prove a point. He said, man, this is a game. This is not something that you should take serious. That's the lesson that I learned from Donald Trump. I took a lot of jewels from his presidency. Donald Trump let you know that it's all a game, and I'm about to show y'all that anybody can be president if they play their hand right. He showed and proved that. He showed and proved that. I'm gonna get up here and say and do whatever I want to say and do. He let you know what type of era we living in. He let you know. Donald Trump showed it. I mean, he let you know. He confirmed the type of era that we living in. You go out here and make any type of noise, look at where that can take you. Matter of fact, you come out here and be wicked, unrighteous, and just racist, whatever the case may be. Look at where that's going to get you in life. He let you know that ignorance is winning. He let you know that. He let you know that ignorance will get you in certain positions. He let you know that. He showed and proved that reality. He showed and proved that reality. Donald Trump could have went up there and been righteous, but that wouldn't have did nothing for him. He could have been righteous, and that wouldn't have won him anything. That wouldn't have won him over any people. That wouldn't have got that wouldn't have got him selected. He could have been righteous. He could have talked the same way that he was talking in some of these books. I mean, I don't know if you all have read a Donald Trump book, but just go read his books. He could have been talking just like the person that read those books. But guess what? That wouldn't have did anything. People they didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear that. If he would have taught the information that he taught in them books, man, he would have been telling people to be entrepreneurs, to be owners, to boss up, which is basically what he would be saying anyway. But he would be more overt with it. But Donald Trump, and another thing, man, Donald Trump didn't just he letting y'all know it's a game, and he was telling y'all the truth in plain sight. He was letting y'all know that the election is rigged. He said that when he was selected. So people think that he just said this. This is what's funny. People think that Donald Trump just saying the selection is rigged because he lost. No, he was saying that when he was going up against Hillary. He let you know that this stuff is rigged prior to him becoming selected. So again, man, people be out here, people don't be paying attention. Donald Trump let y'all know the stuff was rigged from the jump before he even was selected. So he was letting us know the truth right before this all played out. So like this is what was actually happening, man. Donald Trump literally spoke a lot of this truth. Like, and people wasn't taking it serious. They were like, oh, it's coming from Donald Trump. This idiot don't know what he's talking about. Now, I guarantee you, if Donald Trump was selected for a second time, then everybody would have been like it's rigged. But Donald Trump then told Donald Trump already knew it. If he tell you the truth, then you're not going to believe it. So again, they basically used Donald Trump. They used Donald Trump for that. They said, look, we can get Donald Trump to go out here and tell him the truth. But guess what? They're not going to be receptive to that truth because it's coming from Donald Trump. So that's how they got us. They got Donald Trump to come out here and tell us, hey, everything is rigged. Woo, wah, wham, don't get the vaccine. They got Donald Trump telling us the things that we should do, the things that we probably should believe. But since Donald Trump telling us, we like, nah, we ain't believing that. It's coming from this idiot. It's coming from Donald Trump. That's how they got us. That's how they got us, man. So we got to be mindful. We got to be mindful of the tactics. We got to be mindful of the tactics that they utilizing. They using a lot of tactics on us. So we got to be mindful, man. This is war. When people say it's a war going on outside, no man is safe from, like y'all know Mobb Deep, like that's an actual fact. It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from, man. So you got to study these tactics. They using tactics on us, man, because it's war. It's war. They using a strategy. Y'all know the art of war is going on out here. So we gotta know and understand. We got to be able to identify these tactics. We got to be able to identify what's really going on. Because whether you want to believe it or not, it's definitely a war going on. Physically, mentally, however you want to look at it. It's a war going on. And it's a target on your back. It's a target on your chest. It's a target on your head. It's a target everywhere on you. It's a target everywhere on you. Yeah, Funge the Observer, man. I talked about that. They was like, man, we ain't never seen nothing like Trump. I said, what? So what do you call George Bush? What do you call George Bush Jr.? What do you call George Bush Sr.? Bill Clinton was also garbage. I'm gonna do a video proving how he was garbage. Then what do you call Ronald Reagan? Like, what do you call all these? What do you call all these presidents? If you think Donald Trump is some of the work, like, man, we had presidents that were slave owners. Like, come on, man. We had presidents that were slave owners back in the day. Like, we think Donald Trump is the worst. We think we ain't seen anything as wicked as Donald Trump. Y'all must did not do the knowledge to George Bush Sr. And everybody that was around during the Reagan era, like, they let you know how garbage Reagan was. So it's like Donald Trump ain't nothing new to me. Go find me an old white dude that ain't wicked and corrupt. An old white dude, just go find me one. Go find me an old white dude that ain't wicked and corrupt and probably got some racism in his bone. Like, go find me that. That'll be more surprising to me. Go, if you can go find me an upstanding old white dude, like, that'll be surprised. That'll shock me. That would shock me. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Let me go find me an upstanding, righteous white dude with power, like with money, with wealth. Go find me one of those. I don't even think that exists out here. Go find me an old white dude with wealth in a position of power that is not corrupt, not wicked, not racist. I don't think you can find that. I don't think you can find that. They may not want me to say that, but I don't think you can find that. I do not think you can find that. That'd be hard to find. I would have to do some digging to go find that. And I'm talking about an old white dude. It's Donald Trump and they old. I'm talking about an old white dude. Come on now. Like, please go find that. Please go show me that type of person. Because more than likely, if that old white dude was righteous or is righteous and not corrupt, he's not going to be in a position of power. He's going to get booted out. So that's the reason why I said position of power with a nice amount of wealth. I'm Nipping and Goldie. Peace. What's going on? And this is just historically speaking. This is historically speaking. A lot of people get in their feelings when you make things black or white. I didn't make things black or white. Like, they did that. They did that when they started to enslave us, when they started to assassinate us based off of our pigmentation. Like, they made it about race. My people, we wasn't on that. We wasn't doing that. We wasn't dividing everything up by race. We wasn't holding people hostage. We wasn't enslaving people because they had a different skin tone. Like, we were not doing that. We were letting you know the nature of people of that complexion. We let you know the nature of based off our interaction with them, but we wasn't enslaving these people. We just said, when you are around these people, you have to be cautious and you're dealing with this type of people. That's what our ancestors were trying to warn us about. If you're going to deal with this group of people, I got a book. I don't know if this book right here, go read this book. It lets you know about them. The Pale Fox, talking about the doggone tribe. And in this book, they let you know about the nature of white people. And it's not necessarily something positive, but that was based off of their interaction with white folks. So they painted a picture because that's what we did. They was letting you know that these people are this way by nature, and it was not good. And the only reason that they came to that conclusion, it was based off of their interaction with those people. So this had nothing to do with them being racist. They basically observed how these people act, and they reached a conclusion, and they jotted it down. They painted a picture. So again, that's not racism. That's me studying history, and that's me going off what my ancestors left behind in regards to their interaction with a certain group of people. Just like you got plenty of Greeks and Europeans that talk about how they traveled to Africa, how they traveled to the motherland, and how it was not how they wanted to depict it as basically being an area where it's just jungle, wild folks, heathens. No, they was letting you know the glory that's over there in the motherland. They was letting you know that. Was it Ruins of Empire? That's a good one. Dude traveled to the motherland. He letting you know the people that's over there. He letting you know the skin tone. He letting you know that these people are black. He letting you know that they are doing powerful things. He letting you know that they are intelligent. He's letting you know that. He traveled there. He took notes, put the notes in book form, and we still have these books to this day. So again, it's out here. Roxanne, I mean, when it came to Bernie, I really don't trust any of them. I don't trust the politician at all. So I really didn't too much care for Bernie like everybody else like everybody else did. I don't really care for any of the politicians, man, but I really didn't care for Bernie. I didn't care for Trump. Really don't care for any of them, because at the end of the day, I know that who's ever selected, they really not going to be able to do anything for my people. So they can talk a good game, but then when they get in that position, nothing is really going to change for my people unless we make it happen. So I really don't too much care for any of them. What I just appreciate from Donald Trump was that he just let you know how he truly feels. So with people like Bernie, you got to be mindful. You got to wonder, is he doing that trick knowledge? So I don't like that. I don't like to play the guessing game. And sadly enough, you have to do that with a lot of these older white dudes. You have to question their intentions. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to figure out if this white dude is honest or not. Like, I don't have time to figure out if this old white dude has my best interest at heart. I'm tired of that. That's too much energy. Donald Trump, I knew I knew Donald Trump really didn't care for my type of people. So I'm good. Now I know how he feels. With Bernie and all these other folks, you got to do the knowledge to them because they talking a good game, but you got to see if they trying to trick you. You got to see if they trying to trick you. So that's the thing, and you got to do that. And the reason why you got to do that is, like I said, because history proves that. Our ancestors warned us. They said, man, when you interact with these people, they will stab you in the back. They will act like they're your friend, but really what they doing is they trying to study how you move. They trying to master you. So then when you let your guards down, then that's when they attack. So that's what the nature of this beast is. So I don't trust any of them. I can't trust any of them. Just like they want to look at me and look at my image and they feel a certain type of way, I do the same thing to them, because historically speaking, they have done my people dirty, and all we've done was try to help them. So I don't trust any of them. Like, I don't trust any of them off the rip, just historically speaking, man. I feel like they always up to something. They have ulterior motives. So they would have to prove me otherwise. Like, that's how I analyze that situation. When you that white man of power, like, you got to prove me otherwise, because off the rip, I'm not trusting you. I don't care what you telling me off the rip. On the surface, I don't trust you. And the book, somebody asked, what's the book again? It's the Pale Fox. The Pale Fox. This could be a challenging read, but this is a good one. The Pale Fox. Yeah, Jamar, and a lot of people, it's crazy, because when you talk about Sleepy Joe and Kamala, like, there you go. Now it turns into you arguing with another brother and another sister. Then we take our focus off of the real enemy. We start arguing about Joe Biden and Kamala. And, that just is a distraction. But we tend to do that. You tend to argue with black people more so than white folks when it comes to Joe Biden and Kamala. I'm saying these black people out here riding for Sleepy Joe, as we call him, and Kamala. They riding for him. Riding for him. So you got to watch that type of conversation, man, because they liable to disown you. Mr. AG, peace, what's going on? Fun Gate, I'm going to say the chances are very high that they will try to make you get that vaccine to do that. I feel like the chances are high that they may try to make you do that. High chances. It's sad, but it's a way around everything, though. Like I said, we're going to have to play the religious card. We're going to have to say this vaccine, we're going to have to come up with a religion. Hey, we're going to have to create a religion or something, man. We're going to have to say this is against our religion. I mean, they basically gave us the laws to protect ourselves from this type of stuff, man. So we're going to have to use that law against them. Hey, it's against I can't get a vaccine. It's against my religion, man. Whether I got to create the religion overnight. So we're going to have to play that card, because they ain't finna make it mandatory. They ain't not about to tell me I can't go anywhere. I can't make some money because I don't want to get a vaccine. No, sir. We finna go ahead and we finna let them know it's against my religion. It's against my religion. When I hit them with that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. What they gonna do then, man? Like, it's against my religion. I ain't getting the vaccine. That's the best way to combat it. That's the best way to do it. And they think that we ain't wise enough to know that. So that's why they trying to force that. Like, they think we ain't wise enough. They think that if they make some stuff mandatory, that we not wise enough, and then we not gonna fight it. Nah, nope. There's ways around it. You can't make me get a vaccine. You can't do it. Using the word mandatory, that sounds good as a scare tactic, but you can't do it. You can't do it. It's ways around that. It's ways around me being able to keep my job and not get the vaccine. There's ways around it. Yep, fun game, most definitely. It's a way around everything. And that's why I don't even concern myself. Like I tell people, how bad do you want it? Like, how bad do you want to keep that job? You really don't want to get that vaccine. You will figure out what needs to be done to keep that job that you feel like you need and not get the vaccine, because it's a way around it. Trust me, you're gonna have plenty of white folks that's not getting this vaccine that's gonna keep their jobs. And they let you know the loopholes. It's gonna be plenty of them out here. So I ain't too much worried about, like, they throwing the word mandatory out here. I ain't too much worried about that. For one, like I said, I had to kind of boss up so I really wouldn't have to deal with that type of stress and deal with that decision and deal with fighting that system. I just went on and got my own thing. They're not gonna make me get it owning my establishment. That'd be kind of awkward. So they can't make me do anything. I'm good. But it's other people that's not in that type of position. I suggest you try to find a way to get in that position, or you just gonna have to fight it. Oh, Roxanne, man, and that's crazy. I don't even get lectured anymore because people know what I stand on. More so, a lot of people just avoid having certain conversations with me. So a lot of people, when I'm around, they're not gonna talk about politics. They're not gonna talk about health. They're not gonna talk about religion because they already know where that's gonna go. If I'm around, if I'm involved in the conversation, so people just choose not to talk about it now around me because there is no lecturing me about that. I'm about to stop it. I'm gonna stop it every time. Oh, Nero, most definitely, and that's what I try to tell people. I try to tell people, man, that's the key. Like, unity, as cliche as it sounds, that's the only remedy for this situation that we in. Unity, unification. I mean, we got too much unnecessary beefing that's going on right now between black man, black woman, and all of that, man. The black family dysfunctional, but again, that's by design. They did that, so we really got to unify. And that unification, it starts with just relationships. It starts with relationships, man. Us just creating a better village. That's when we really gonna see the change. So we didn't done away with that village. We didn't done away from the village, and we didn't adopted one of their strategies: survival of the fittest. Every man for himself. Like that. That's how we didn't start living. We adopted their viewpoint. Every man for himself. Survival of the fittest. We have gotten away from it takes a village. We've gotten away from that. We've gotten away from things being interconnected. Like, that's how our ancestors viewed everything. We didn't took that view, survival of the fittest, every man for himself, eye for an eye tooth. Like, we didn't took that, and now that's what we live in. So nah, it ain't taking no village. They ain't looking out for me, I ain't looking out for them. Why would I look out for their child? Like, that ain't my kid. Like, that's the mentality that we have adopted. That ain't how our ancestors was living. Yeah, most definitely divide and conquer. And they have succeeded with dividing and conquering. Yeah, and Tavine, that's why, like I said, I got that. I'm doing that workshop 2021 in the summer, man. I'm trying to get some of us together, man, to come together and really build in the physical. Because there's only so much you really want to do in regards to strategizing on these platforms. So I don't be understanding when a lot of people go on these platforms and really run down plans when it comes to, like, basically fighting this system. That ain't wise. Like, that's not wise. You can reveal your information on here, exposing the system, man. But when it comes to game planning and strategizing, you might want to be a little bit more covert when it comes to that. And a lot of people, man, they be telling too much on these platforms, man, and then wonder why they get caught up, wonder why things happen to them. You talking too much. You letting them know the wrong things. Yeah, Antoinette, and that's the village is the key. The village is the key, and we gotta realize that, man. You gotta look out. You gotta look out for that brother. You gotta look out for that sister. You gotta look out for that baby. You just gotta do it. You gotta do it, and for the life of me, and just to kind of get off subject a little bit, man. For the life of me, that's all I was talking about when I made my Facebook post a while back about black women being unprotected. For some reason, a lot of brothers viewed that as me basically saying we need to just take care of The black, I'm protection. Like I'm talking about protecting. I'm not talking about, hey, tell your wife stay at home. You ain't got tell this girl she ain't got to do nothing. Tell this lady she ain't got to do nothing. She just sit here. You go to work. Wham. No, I'm talking about protecting the black woman. Like we got to have her back. When she go out here and fight corporate America, when she go out here and fight the system, we got to be having her back. That is what I was talking about in regards to protecting the black woman. The black woman shouldn't be in fear of her life around her own family. She shouldn't be getting molested and abused by family members. Like we need to be protecting that. We need to be protecting that black woman. We need to not be abusing the black woman. So that's what I was talking about. And that whole status went left field. So that's when I realized we got a long way to go. Long way to go. Like I said, I literally have seen cases where the black woman was abused within the family. And the family, instead of coming to the defense of this black woman, they trying to protect the male abuser because they don't want to. This is how they play it. They don't want to send him to the prison. They don't want to get the system involved because they know how the system treats the black man. Man, forget that. If he is out here, I don't care who is abusing. You don't do that. You don't abuse that young black girl. You don't abuse when she 12 and you 30 and you 40. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a brother. I don't care if you're a white guy. If you abuse that young black girl, you molest that young black girl, and then you are in her own family, you deserve everything negative and bad that's coming your way. Point blank, period. You should never be trying to cover that up. Like that is sick. That's twisted. And that goes for black men and other black women protecting one another. That's sick and twisted. That's sick and twisted. And I have heard that multiple times. That wasn't the first time that I've heard something like that. So that's sick and twisted. And that's what I meant by protection or protecting. Like stuff like that. That should not be happening. That should not be happening. And then for the life of me, and peace, Bobby, what's going on? And for the life of me, we can't understand why women grow up with the mentality that they may have, why they may view black men in a certain light. Man, when you molested by black men that you trusted, what do you think is gonna happen to you when you 12 and you 10 and you being violated by your father, like your father or your uncle, a black man, the first people that you trust, the first men in your life that you trust? What do you think? How do you think you're gonna grow up? How do you think you're gonna grow up? And reverse that. If you a black man and you was molested by the first woman that you trusted or the first women that you trusted, how you gonna grow up if you women? So come on, man. We got a man. Almost every woman that I encounter was molested in some way, shape, or form. Like I kid you, it's almost a common theme. It's almost like diabetes. Every other person I walk into, they got diabetes. Man, I'm talking about every other woman that I walk into say they were molested. Say they were molested as a child by older people, older men in their family. I'm telling you, every other black woman that I come across say she was molested and violated as a child. And and what's sad is none of these people were punished for what they did. They still walking around because what did they tell me? It's almost like clockwork. The story is the same. Well, they either felt like they couldn't say anything to their family because they felt like the family wouldn't believe them, or they did, and the family didn't believe them and told them that they lied, made it look like they was delusional, and had them thinking that they was tripping. So when come on, man, like just look at the psychology behind that. Oh, Nero, most definitely. Like I didn't think that I was gonna get a lot of flack from brothers just by basically saying we need to do a better job of protecting black women. And I was speaking to myself. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I didn't think that was going to come with a lot of like negative energy from dudes. And that was crazy. Like, man, what? Like that's why I bring up the village, because, man, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go to get this village back together, man, because this is crazy. We got a long way to go to get this village back together, man. It's a big disconnect between the black man and the black woman. And when you got that disconnect, that black child is now confused. That black child don't know whether to hate this black man or love this black man, because that's the type of energy that they receiving from the single mother, from the single father type deal. They don't know what to do. So then they growing up confused, and we wondering why we can't communicate to them. They confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to view the black man. They don't know how to view the black woman. They don't know how to view themselves. So that's why you walking around with a lot of confusion. So it's like, man, we gotta chill on out, man. We gotta really chill on out. You gotta understand that. You gotta just understand the science behind what's going on, man. These, man, that's just that's a whole nother video, man. I feel like I'm gonna start venting in regards to that particular subject matter, and I don't really want to vent about that. But that ties into that village mentality, man. We definitely got to do a better job of just making sure a black woman feels safe, and that's even within your own family, man. I should be able to send my wife. I should be able to have my moms go to the store, and I feel like they protected, they safe. They should be able to go to that black neighborhood, to the gas station at night, and not feel like they in fear for their life type deal. But like that's what I'm saying. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. We just got a long way to go, man. It starts with us. It starts with us, the people that know better, the people that have a little bit of knowledge, man, the people that have a little bit of sense. Oh, to Vaughn, most definitely. Listen, that's what I tell people. That's why I tell some of the black women to look for. I'm like, man, if these dudes that you dealing with don't respect their own moms, don't respect their grandmothers, man, don't respect the women in their family, why do you think they're gonna respect you? Like, that's just common sense, man. If you dealing with, I've literally heard black women talk to me about a dude that they was dealing with, and it's like they talk and they talk about how bad they treat their moms, and you know the women in their family. And I'm just looking, and they wondering why they getting treated so badly. I'm like, man, look how dude treats his moms. Dude has no respect for his moms. He really ain't gonna have no respect for you. I mean, if he don't respect his grandmother, his mother, what do you think why do you think he gonna care for you all of a sudden? Why do you think he gonna respect you all of a sudden? That's not gonna happen. 99% of the time, man, they don't respect their moms and the women that raise them. They not gonna care about you. Yeah, Fungate, and then along with the drugs, they then turn to gangs. They turn to the street life. Like, that's exactly what happened. They turn to the streets, man. They turn to that street life. They turn to these gangs because they so confused. When it come to that gang life, they not confused, man. They get that role. Like, there's no confusion. It's actually structured to the gang life. It's structured to these streets out here. Now, you finna be a hitman, so you know your duty, you know your role. And when you do your role, you get rewarded. You get praised. Like, it's structured to that street life. And that's what they looking for. But when the crib is dysfunctional, they don't have that structure, and they looking for that structure. But they can't get it from the crib when moms don't like pops and pops don't like moms, and there's dysfunction and confusion. So they looking for that structure, and they go right to the streets. They go right to the streets where, okay, all right, you want to get initiated into this game, boom, you in, and this is what you got to do for me. And when you do this for me, this is what you get. And then here's the consequence. Like, if you get caught, don't mention my name, and you possibly can go down for this. That's structure. It's not the best, like, it's not necessarily positive, but that's structure. Mr. AG, and that's what I'm on. Like, that's one thing that I'm on. I'm trying to get the brothers and sisters that are down to work together. And that's what that workshop that I'm putting together in the summer next year. Like, that's my objective, man, just to get us to come together. Because eventually, when people see that it's a real deal out here, like I said, that's what I was actually starting with the Knowledge Gang. I was actually in the process of doing that in like 2012, 2011, when I started the Knowledge Gang, man. We was having meetings. It was about a good seven to eight of us. It was about 7 or 8 of us, man. And we had 2 black women in the circle, 2 black women in the cipher. So it was about 7 or 8 of us, man. And we was just holding little meetings in secret. Just like they get together, just like you got the Bilderberg groups, man. You got the Trilateral Commission. You got all of these secret groups with these wealthy people that get together in these undisclosed locations and they map out their agenda. I was striving to do the same thing. With Knowledge Gang. We was gonna get together, undisclosed locations, and we was gonna map out our strategies. We was gonna execute these strategies. So that's something that I was working on. Cam Cooper, most definitely. We gonna connect. Like I said, I'm gonna bring Knowledge Gang back to the surface, man. A brother's been telling me to do it. I'm gonna bring it back to the surface. I'm gonna make it a movement. It was becoming a movement then, to the point where it was crazy. That's back when Twitter was heavy, and Twitter was like way popular, way more popular than it is now. People were straight asking me what you need to do to be initiated to the knowledge gang. I was like, man, they was acting like it was a secret society or something. So I already know what would have happened if that would have blown up at that time. People would have associated me with like the Illuminati or something, because people was already thinking you had to do something to be initiated to become a member of the knowledge gang, when really you didn't. But I put the word gang at the end of knowledge for a reason. And y'all smart enough to figure out why I did that. But I'm definitely gonna bring that back to the surface, because that was a powerful movement, man. We was out here literally. We was getting that information cool before it really was cool. And I know that y'all can relate to that, man. So it's a lot of people that you would meet that was fooling with the knowledge game, man. That was just cool people that was on the same type of stuff that like I was on, and that you probably on. So that was a real powerful little movement. Like I said, it started off with just about 7 or 8. And of course, that was here, the people I had in St. Louis, but then it started catching on Twitter. And people would hit me up on Twitter like, hey, like, how do I be down with, how do I get down with it? So I'm definitely going to bring that back to the surface, man. I'm going to let y'all know when it's official, when it's officially back to the surface, man. But that's something I'm definitely going to bring that movement back. It's definitely needed. Definitely needed. And I had the whole breakdown. I'm gonna do a whole video just breaking down what it means. And I want to treat it. I almost want to treat it like the ancient Egyptian mystery schools, to actually make you have to undergo some steps, man. Because I really feel like that's crucial. I feel like it's certain books that you should, read before you claim the title, man. I think treating it like that, adding that structure to it, I think that's actually peace, man. I think that gives a person discipline. And I think it builds up that mind. So I might add something like that, man, because I believe it's powerful and I believe it's helpful. Just building up the mind. Because the Egyptian mystery school, man, you had to study for years. You had to study for years before you reach that higher level. I think it was like 40 years. I forgot the exact number, but you had to study for like 40 years before you was considered to know anything. That's 40 years of studying. We think we know something after Googling something. They had to just imagine you got to study for 40 years. You got to dedicate 40 years of your life to some studying just to semi-know something. And we think we didn't master the subject by looking up 2 articles. No. And that's one of the reasons why I came up with the knowledge game, man, because I felt like people were abusing, like people was taking research for granted. Research is a dying art. Like, nah, we gotta value research. We gotta value doing the knowledge. We gotta value studying. And that's one of the reasons why I came up with knowledge game, man, because those are the people that's hungry for information, that's willing to do the research that people are not willing to do. And we live in a day and age where people really don't care to do research. Microwave generation. So people just want to Google something and think that they know something. No, that ain't how it is. I'm not going to allow books and that type of stuff to go out of style. That's why I be just stockpiling on books, man, just buying books, because at the end of the day, in a few years, a lot of these books that I'm buying, they're not about to be available. I already got some of those books that you can't find. So I make sure when I see a crucial book, I make sure I try to get it, because it's like about 5-10 years from now, you're probably not about to be able to find any of these books. So this is crucial. And when you study every society, you will have people like that. I forget the terms, like I forget the actual titles that these people possess. But you have people that's what they did. They studied. You can refer to them as think tanks and things of that nature. But you have people back in the day, back in ancient times, that their whole objective was to study, and they gave that information to the kings, to the palace. Like, that's what they did. They were behind the scenes. They were the masterminds. And that's what's happening today. Like the president, man, they not writing these speeches. They ain't doing the knowledge. They not doing the research. It's somebody behind the scenes. They getting that information from a think tank. Somebody else is writing that speech that president is speaking. He's not doing that. Somebody behind the scenes. So that's what I was on with the knowledge game. I was basically striving to create a think tank. So it was going to be a group of people that when you came to this group of people in regards to like the major areas of life, like science, math, health and wellness, like history, physics, man, whatever the subject matter be, then you could just come to this knowledge game and we're going to have an answer for you. If we don't have an answer for you, we're going to do the knowledge to it. We're going to do the research. Like that was part of my objective. Second objective was for this same gang of people to practice group economics. And eventually that probably could lead to creation of a bank or things of that nature, a black bank. But just practicing group economics, you got this group of people. We all value research. We can pool our money together and we can start funding other endeavors. So that was like, those was like some of my objectives. Oh, Antoinette, that's actually a good idea. I'm gonna have to look into doing that. That's actually a good idea. That's a good idea. So I'm gonna get what I'm gonna do. My objective here before 2021 hits, or like right after 2021 hits, I'm going to get a logo created for Knowledge Game. I'm gonna get a logo created and call it what you want, but I'm gonna create a criteria because like I said, I believe studying is important. I believe studying is important. I believe it's certain books that one needs to read. So I'm gonna have a whole process if you're striving to be down with the Knowledge Game, because we want serious people. And the way to show and prove that you're serious is doing the knowledge to some of these books. If I know that you have the discipline to do the knowledge to some of these books, then I know that you're down for the cause. I know that you can be trusted. So I feel like it's a certain list of books that I'm gonna have for people to read if you're trying to really be down with the Knowledge Game. So we're gonna have to operate like that. We can't just let everybody be down. That's how you get infiltrated. That's how your stuff gets corrupted, when you just let everybody fool with it. You gotta have some type of criteria. You gotta have that criteria. You gotta treat it like the ancient Egyptians. They treated the mystery school. You gotta have people undergo rigorous studying. It's a process, just like the monks, just like when you see the monks, they gotta go. It's a process that you gotta go through to be certified, to be official. I feel like that should apply to every type of group. So I wouldn't want to be part of a group that I can just walk into. Like, okay, what do you got to do to be in this group? Nothing. Man, that's too loose for me. I need structure. I need for you to say, all right, man, I got to run 4 miles in under this amount of time. I got to read 10 books. Like, that may sound like it's something wicked right now, but I like that idea. I like that more so than saying, what I got to do to join this group? Nothing. Just come on, you good. I don't trust nothing like that, because you letting any and everybody in, man. You not examining the people that you letting in. I can't trust all of that. But if I know that if I told you had to do certain things to get incorporated into this mix, and you did those things, I'm trusting you. I may not trust you 1,000%, but I'm trusting you better than a person you ain't got to do nothing. So I'm definitely, because y'all know me, I'm an avid reader, man. I done loaned out plenty of books. And this is another reason why I feel like I should do that, because I have loaned out plenty of books, but a lot of people haven't read the books. So that lets me know a person is not serious. I don't want to associate myself with that person. I can't tell you how many times I've loaned out books to people. And I'm talking about simple books. And then I get back with a month later, 2 months later. I'm like, hey, have you read that book? Nope. And I ain't even get my book back from some of the people. Now I got some brothers, I give them the book. They like, man, they read it in a week. I can rock with that. That shows me that you're eager. That shows me that you're curious. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's important. Like y'all already know, I'm 5% nation of gods and earths, man. We gotta memorize lessons in order to get, in order to get our lapel, man. In order to be official, we gotta memorize lessons. So and I use this analogy. I said, just think about how many Christians and Baptists and Catholics we would have if in order to be a member of that religion, you had to memorize the Bible. So imagine how many Christians we would have then if they said, in order to be a true Christian, you got to memorize the Bible front and back. Just imagine. That will eliminate. You know how many non-religious people we have if that was the criteria? If they told them religious people, you got to memorize this, man, 95% of the people that classify as Baptist, Christian, Catholic, Protestant, they would drop out. They can't do it. That's too much. They can't do it. I ain't trying to memorize this Bible. And if I showed y'all some of the degrees that we had to memorize, what they call meat degrees, these were some heavy degrees, man. I'm talking about you memorizing pages. And we doing that for a mental exercise. So that's why I believe stuff like that is crucial. That's why I believe a criteria like that is crucial, because you really see who's seriously about that life. Like I said, if you told Christians, if you said y'all got to memorize the Bible front and back. If I read you off a Bible verse You got to be able to spit that Bible verse out. Man, come on. I saw a monk training before. Like I saw somebody training to be a monk, and I forgot what like book they were studying. But that's something that they had to do. And the crazy thing about this particular process, they didn't know what verse the instructor was going to have them read. So they basically had to memorize this book, and then the instructor would give them a verse, and they had to spit that verse back verbatim. Could not mess up. Man, you know how rough that is? You know how many people that will eliminate if you told them they had to do that for these holy books? Come on. Come on. I ain't even asking you to memorize anything. I'm just saying read these books and then like really do the knowledge to the books. Write you a summary on the book or something like that. But that discipline, man, that discipline is needed. And I would incorporate a fast. I believe fasting is important. So I would incorporate a fast. You trying to be down? If you trying to be down with the cause, man, you need to undergo this 7-day fast type deal. Get you a fast on for 7 days. Cleanse out your system and things of that nature. And I saw somebody asking me, Mr. AG, like I'm more of a slow reader, but I tend to try to get about a book a week done, depending on the length of the book. Man, I got a lot of heavy books, so a lot of my books exceed like 400 pages. But if I'm reading some light work, like 200 page books, I might get 2 out in a week. But if it's a heavy book, I may read about 1 book a week. Man, I'm nipping and go. Man, I studied the monks, man. Listen, that whole process to become a monk, like you said, just for that moment, the stuff that they got to do just for that moment, man, I admired that. I admired it. Like that's some straight discipline. The things that you got to do just for that moment. And that moment don't even last long, but you got to train years just for that little moment. Like that stuff crazy, man, but it's effective. That's building character. That's building discipline I wish I had. So I feel like that's definitely something I'm gonna implement. That's definitely something I'm gonna strive to implement. But at the end of the day, this is how we about to have to move. Like we about to have to move like that and like this. Now, lo and behold, again, when they start seeing the hashtag knowledge getting to like, of course they're gonna try to shut something down like that. They'll try to shut something down like that, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I literally feel like it's time to just bring that back to the surface because it had some momentum way back in the day, and I really just feel like it's time. I feel like it's time to do something with it. I feel like it could be some power behind that. I feel like it can be some power behind this movement. Like I feel like it's more so a way of life. And that's basically what I was striving to do, man, just a way of life. Yeah, I'm nipping it, man. The monks, yeah, I fool with it. I fool with the monks. I didn't did some studying when it comes to the monks, man. I fool with them. I rock with some of the things that they do. Yeah, Savon, those are good. Those are all good books. And then Dissolving Illusions, those are good books. Man, I got a bunch of little heavy books around me right now. Some of them I've already like shown to y'all, man. But I got another powerful jewel right here. It's 2 volumes. It's an old school joint. Anocalypse. Volume 1. Like Languages, Nations, and Religions. Like this is heavy. This is heavy. Heavy information. That's the type of knowledge we got to do. Lorville 1993. Does fasting help with stamina? It actually does. Intermittent fasting actually does boost your energy, which essentially is going to help with stamina. I think it's what's it called? Growth hormone. The production of that actually boosts when you intermittent fast. It sounds contrary to it sounds like a contradiction that not eating would actually boost like your energy, but that actually happens. Intermittent fasting actually boosts your energy. Like it's actually adrenaline is being released. The growth hormone production increases. Those things like boost your energy and increase your stamina. Like that's an actual fact. It's actual science behind that. Solo T, I was gonna do a video about 48 laws of power, and I forgot to do it. I mean, I didn't forget to do it. I still haven't done it, but I want to really go through that particular book because it's mixed reviews, mixed opinions on that book. A lot of people feel like that's a deceptive book. They don't fool with it. A lot of people swear by the book. I look at the book as more so learning how white folks operate. If you study that book, dealing with corporate America becomes a lot easier. That's how I view 48 Laws of Power. So it's not that the book in and of itself is not bad or good, but I feel like if you in America and you study that book, everything will start making sense to you in regards to like politics and just everything, man, like power. You will really start to see, oh, they definitely read 48 Laws of Power because this is law number 9. So you will be able to just really identify what's going on by studying that book. So yeah, some of the laws can be wicked, but like look at the nature of the beast that we study. So you really learn how they move when you study 48 Laws of Power, Art of War, and all of those good stuff. The Prince, that's another good book. Shout out to Tupac for getting me on that book. You know, Machiavelli, where he got the name from, wrote The Prince. That's an underrated book in regards to studying the nature of the beast. It's a lot of strategy in that particular book. I read that book early, but I read that book so long ago, so early, man, it was hard to digest it. So I had to read that book several times. But The Prince is a good book. Like people talk about the Art of War, I always talk about The Prince. Yeah, Dizzy, and that's what I'm saying. Like pretty much all of his books are common sense. Like that dude got The Laws of Human Nature, Mastery, what he got, The Art of Seduction, and what is it, another one, 33 Strategies of War, whatever. That dude got several books like that, and like all of it is really common sense. Like his Mastery book definitely harness common sense. But the thing I like about the dude is his knowledge in regards to like history. So I like how he tell the story and associate it with the law. Like I like that part, but most of it is just common sense, and it's basically stuff that you didn't heard. Mr. AG, most definitely. That's one of those books when you start looking at, you start really realizing like things that happen to you. Oh, Zion, most definitely. That goes without saying. Meditation, one of the best things you can do. Yeah, meditation, definitely one of the best things you can do for your immune system as well. Dizzy, and you know what's crazy? The crazy thing about that, I just finished 50 Cent's book that you saw me post on Instagram. That's crazy. I just read about that. And he talked a little bit about Ja in that book, man. He was talking about several people in that book. Yeah, he was talking about that. That's actually a pretty decent book. But you can tell, and you can tell without even reading the book, without 50 Cent even letting me know that he was a good friend with it. I mean, because I read his book, The 50th Law, too. But without you knowing that dude was like a friend of the dude that wrote the 48 Laws of Power, I could tell by the way that book was written and by the stuff that 50 was talking about in that book, I could tell that he was associated with this dude. I feel like the dude wrote that book for 50, man. It just sounded like it feel like dude wrote that book. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if he had anything to do with that particular book. I know he had something to do with 50th Law, but it seemed like that dude wrote that book for 50. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. It sounded like I was just reading that dude's writing. Yeah, Montel, you got on the Kindle. Man, I had a Kindle when Kindles first came out. Sold that mud, man. It broke. Well, it didn't break, the screen cracked, man. And I just, for some reason, I couldn't get down with the Kindle, man. But then I cracked the cracked the screen, sold it. Oh, Zion, you talking about Marcus Aurelius? Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, when I took my philosophy class, man, that book was heavy, and everybody didn't always. It's crazy. Everybody associated me with the Stoic philosophy. without even knowing that that's one of my favorite philosophies, man. People say that's just naturally how I carry myself. So anybody that's familiar with the Stoic philosophy and they know me, that's one of the first words that come to mind when they describe me. Grand chessboard, that's a good one. I got a lot of heavy joints. I got a lot of heavy joints, man. I'm gonna keep some of them on the wrap because, like I said, I don't want to mention too many of the books because, like I said, they get hold of this information, then all of a sudden you won't even see these books available anymore. So I don't want to mention too many of the books. You get on this video, we ramble off all the books, then next thing you know, you go try to find the book and you can't find it. But just know it's gonna be a group of books, man. If you try and be down with the knowledge game, it's gonna be a group of books. It's gonna be a decent amount of books. Ain't gonna be no light work. It's gonna be a decent amount of books that I just feel like should be read. And it's probably gonna be some other stuff too. Because y'all know I'm into health and fitness, so I gotta make sure you're serious about your health. What good is doing all this studying and research if your health is not intact, man? So like what you doing? What you doing? So you got to make sure your health is intact as well. And y'all know that's right up my alley. Travian, yep. Chancellor Williams, yes, sir. Destruction of Black Civilization. Another good book is When We Ruled. That's a heavy book. It's like 700 pages. That's a good joint. But yeah, Destruction of Black Civilization, it put you on game. That was one of the first books I got into. When I started reading, like I read like The Prince. I read The Prince. I was reading like a lot of like ancient mythology books back in the day. Of course, I read like the basics, like the autobiography of Malcolm X. I read about the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey. I even read some little Dr. King stuff. Like I was reading the basic books, Huey Newton. I read that. Then shortly after that, I got into the Destruction of Black Civilization. Then Message to the Black Man too is a book that I always recommend by Elijah Muhammad. That joint powerful. So I always recommend that book. As told by Curly, you have touched on something heavy in regards to the women, because that is an actual fact. And then the amount of money that they spend on abort, like you have literally touched on something. And when you bring that up, how crazy they will look at you. Like that's, and as a man, like I've literally, when it comes to certain subject matter about women, I just don't even talk anymore, because I have literally tried to tell some things to certain women to help them out with their health. But since it was coming from me, they was like, they not trying to hear a male telling me anything about their body. And it was like real simple stuff. It was like when it'll be the cycle time and they was talking about cravings. And I was telling them natural ways to help curb the cravings. And I literally had some black women almost tear my head off, because I said, I suggested certain ways to help curb those cravings. They were like, you don't understand this, that, and the third. I was like, man, I get it. But there are natural ways to fight those cravings. There are natural ways to not grab that bad food that you think that you craving and instead substitute it with something that's positive and beneficial for the body. I didn't think that was necessarily bad advice. I was saying, instead of grabbing that candy that's about to kill you, grab that fruit, because that's what your body is really craving when you crave something sweet. That didn't go over too well. So I was just like, okay. I was like, wow, I didn't think that telling you to, a positive way to curb those cravings and still satisfy the craving was a negative. So certain things I don't even talk about. But then they'll go let that white male doctor tell them anything about their body and they believe it. They'll go let that white male doctor tell them anything about their body. And like as told by Curly D talked about, that white man could tell them about abortion. That white man can tell them about plan B. They gonna believe that. But let this little old black me say, all right, man, you instead of reaching for that candy when you think you craving something sweet, grab that fruit, grab those berries. They act like I'm a criminal. They act like I just said jump off a cliff and die or something. Jamar, and that's what I'm talking about. Like when you study the physical therapy and chiropractic stuff, like me being into holistic health and just being a trainer, like I study the body. Studying the body means I have to study male and female. I have more women clients than I have male clients. So I know a thing or two about the woman's body, man, because I have to study it. I have to like these women coming to me, they want to lose weight. They need strategies. They need things to do. And I got to give them a different piece of advice than I give a man. So I got to understand the psychology behind a woman. So I got to study her in order for her to reach the goal. Because weight gain is something that's hormonal. So I got to study the hormones. I got to study what's going on within that woman in order for me to help her lose the weight. People think weight loss is something as simple as move more, eat less. No. Weight gain is a hormonal issue. It's a hormonal imbalance. So I got to get the hormones back in balance in order to help that black woman lose weight. So no. So I'm like, man, I have to study the woman, but man, some of them don't be trying to hear it from me. So I leave it alone. I'm like, man, so you would let this white man tell you anything and tell you stuff that's gonna destroy your body, but I'm telling you something that makes sense, and you ready to hit me with the stone cold stunner. Yeah, Magic Rims and yeah, Jamar, like that's where I'm at. Like hey, if you think it's not my place to tell a woman anything about her body, I feel you. But in the same breath, please don't try to tell a man about his body. Then you need to stick to your script as well. So if you're not about to take heed to any type of advice that's coming from a man in regards to your body, don't try to tell a man anything about his body. So if you're gonna stick to your word, then I'm cool with letting you live. But if I feel like I know a thing or two that can help you, I'm not trying to control you. I'm just saying, hey, I read this, I studied this, and I feel like this would be something that'll help you get over this hump, get over this obstacle. I'm not telling you something to try to control you. I'm not telling you something I feel like I hurt you. I'm telling you something I feel like I help you. Like if you're not receptive to that, I'm shutting off. Oh yeah, that's told by Curly D. No doubt. That it'll come up missing. They'll kidnap it. It'll come up missing. Yeah, Jamar, they ready to give you the stone cold stunner, get you with the spear and the people's elbow all in one. So I be staying away from all of that. Yeah, Jamar, I kind of just I stay away from it when it comes to certain, like some of them they seek out, you know what I'm saying, they seek out the opinion of a so-called expert, or they seek out the opinion of someone they feel like knows something. But for the most part, I'm not throwing out my advice out there if I feel like you ain't asked for it. So if you complaining about, your cramps, or you complaining about your cravings, if you're not asking me what you can do about it, more than likely I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just let you complain and let you realize how complaining really ain't doing nothing but making it worse. But my thing is, I just don't like people complaining around me without thinking about solutions. So I have a hard time being quiet when people complain around me for long periods of time. Because if you're not bringing up a solution, then I'm a little annoyed, because all you're doing is complaining, and that's making your cramp worse. That's making your craving worse. So just stop complaining first and foremost, and then focus on what you can do to solve the issue. Yeah, Antoinette, and like I said, it's plenty of them that do. But I definitely ran into some situations where, like I said, I had very good intentions. All I was saying was, hey, if you feel like you craving this or you suffer from these cramps, then this is what you do. Based off of, what I'm saying, research, and based off of me even talking to other women. Like sometimes I get my information from other women and what they tell me. And most of the books that I read about the woman's body is from other women. So I'm like, I'm not just getting this information from dudes or whatnot. I'm studying women. Like I'm listening to what women are saying, that they did this and they said this work. And then I'm shooting that information to somebody else. And they like, nope, no, sir. So yeah. Oh yeah, Justin, we definitely, man, listen. When a black woman talks, I'm definitely listening. Because one thing I don't play with is that black woman's intuition. I tell black women all the time, if you ever feel like I'm in danger or something, please let me know. If you ever get that gut feeling about me, let me know. Because I'm gonna take heed. I don't play with that. I don't play with the black woman's intuition. I don't play with that. So if you are a black woman and you are watching this and you have any type of feeling, that feeling that y'all get, and it has anything to do with me, let me know. Let me know. I take that seriously. Yeah, Jamar. Now I'm big on. And then what happens too when you complaining, especially around other people, you draining the other people who you complaining to. So I don't have time to be drained. I don't have time to be brought down to your level, because then I'm gonna start complaining about you complaining. So I don't have time for that. So I'd rather you just not complain and think about solutions. Because then you gonna complain, and then in my mind I'm complaining about you complaining, and then I'm gonna say something because I'm not about to do that. Oh yeah, you can learn. You can learn from anything. What I say about the lyric in the song, everything preaches to you. You decipher who the reverend is. Like that's everything, man. You can learn something from a box, learn something from a rock, man. You go outside, look at that rock, and just learn something. So you can learn from anything and anyone. Yeah, Nero, and that's one thing too that we gotta just reverse in the man. They have just got us to the point where they keep showing and proving how we just be attracted to ignorance, how we just be attracted to negativity. If I came on here and it's just an actual fact. If I came on here, if I did like a little 2-minute video and I just blasted either black women or black men, that video will go viral. If I did a video and talk bad about either black men or black women, that video will go viral. And more than likely, we'll be promoting that video amongst one another. That video will go viral. Now, when I talk good about my brothers and my sisters, that's not going to go viral. You're going to have a hard time having that go viral. But if I came up here and just talk ignorant about my people, that'll be viral within seconds. That'll be viral within seconds. You have plenty of people talking about how they feel that video. I feel that, man. I feel what he was saying, man. He talked that bad about the black woman. I feel it. That's right. They teach King and all that type of stuff. He's spitting all that type of stuff that they be saying. If I did that, and vice versa, if I talked about black men, then we had that going on. So we have all that going on, man. But again, I stay true to the cause. I'm for black people. I'm not. You might about to hear me talk bad about black men, black women. I don't care what type of experiences I have had. I'm not finna do that. I'm not gonna do that. It's not happening. Y'all not gonna get that out of me. Y'all not gonna get that out of me. I just can't. I ain't made like that. I ain't made like that. I'm not about to do all that, man. There's plenty of other people that don't look like me that I got problems with. I'd rather air that out. I'd rather air that out. Now, the people that I would debate with, or like I said, the beginning of this video, the people that's co-signing this vaccine, the people that co-signing the system and they black and they supposed to be conscious, I'd be willing to debate those type of people. I'd be willing to have a conversation with those individuals because, like I said, I don't trust them. I need to know why you pushing for a vaccine and you supposed to be conscious. You supposed to have this information. Yeah, bad news travels like the speed of light. So, and that's sick. It's sick, man. Like all you got to do if you really want to if you really want to do something, create a buzz, all you got to do is do something ignorant. All you got to do, man. All you got to do is do and say something ignorant. I know. Listen, people talk about this page blowing up, all this type of. I know exactly what I could do to blow the page up. I know exactly what I could say to blow the page up and get more recognition, get more people. I'm not doing that though. Slow and steady wins the race for me. Longevity. Like I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to go say something for shock value just so I can get people to rock with me. No, not doing it. Not doing it at all. But I know exactly what type of tactics you like. I'm telling y'all, like I studied Donald Trump. I got a degree in marketing. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to get a bunch of people to fool with something that I'm doing. I choose to do things righteously though, but I know exactly what to do. But you don't see me inserting any type of slick smart marketing tactics and things of that nature. Nah, when you true to the cause, man, people like that sincerity. People like that authenticity. That's something that they don't teach you as well. People like that. People like that, man. People like you being original. People like you being true to yourself. And you're going to attract that. So I'd rather attract that opposed to saying something for shock value and getting the wrong type of attention. I ain't cool with that. I ain't cool with that. The only time I'll be cool with that is if I said something along these lines, talking about the vaccine, and that just so happened to catch somebody's attention. Because I'm going to stand by that. But I'm not about to come out here and say something for shock value, man, just to get people to click on a video or click on whatever. And like then I use that and then I change up my approach. Then I really tell them what I want to tell them. Man, I already know how to do all that. I'm not doing that. I don't have to be deceptive out here. I could be real and still do what I'm doing. I'd rather do that than deceive y'all. So that's what it is, man. Because I've had plenty of people, man, you know, your channel should be this, that. No, I said my channel is perfect, right where it's at. It's gonna grow how it needs to grow because again, I'm not attracting the wrong type of attention. I'm doing that on purpose. It's a reason why a channel like this is just not move as fast. Like for one, I don't care about that. That's number one. Is other people letting me know that you ain't hearing. You have never probably heard me talk about my subscribers. Like I don't think y'all have ever heard me talk about, I reached X amount of subscribers. I've never mentioned that. I don't even tell y'all to like the video. I put it at the bottom of the screen, but even if I didn't have it on the bottom of the screen, like y'all ain't never heard me say that. Y'all can probably watch every other video and y'all hear people talk about like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. They verbally tell you. I don't even say that type of stuff, man. I don't even do that. I ain't doing that. Oh, Jamar, man, no doubt. I'm gonna remember everybody. And like I said, man, I got something for everybody, man. When I make it, people gonna make it. And I mean, I've already made it. You know, you've already made it. But when it comes to channels like this, man, I already know what to kind of expect. So I got my ducks in a row just in case some things go left field. I got a website that I'm about to start utilizing. And so it's like, all right, if my YouTube ever start acting weird, but I think I'm maneuvering in a way on YouTube to kind of prevent that. But if it ever comes to that, I got other stuff that I'm gonna be able to do. So they're not gonna get when they got me on Facebook a few times. I ain't had no backup plans. Facebook was my only way of really getting my message across, and they got me. So I was like, man, I can't put all my eggs in one basket like that. But once we get the knowledge gang thing cracking off, I mean, you can shut this channel down, but it's probably gonna be 5 or 10 other people with that information that's doing that knowledge that's dedicated to the. So we already gonna be moving. So at that point, when this becomes an official movement, it ain't no stopping it. You can shut a channel down all day long. But nah, you still gonna have this movement going, moving strong. So that's why I feel like now is the time to really get the movement going, really get dedicated people behind this cause, really start dealing with dedicated people, coming together with dedicated people, sincere people. And I'm talking about, man, we coming together, we creating things, like we innovators. Like when people ask me about a diet, like, no, we innovate, we create our own type of lifestyle. Mr. AG, you ask me anything you feel like it. Really, I feel like I try to answer anything to the best of my ability. Yeah, I strive to answer anything to the best of my abilities, man. But it's about to get real in the field, man. It's about that time, man. It's about that time to put things into motion. It's really about that time to put things into motion, man. And get a core group of people. And y'all have seen, we got a lot of examples. Aim or fix, peace. What's going on? Yeah, Nero and they didn't made it. Yeah, they didn't. That's on that. That's on them. They didn't create it. They didn't create all this technology, and we just gonna take advantage of it. We just gonna take advantage of it. So it's gonna be impossible to stop it. It's gonna be impossible to stop it. So we really about to get down to business when it comes to this information. We really about to get down to business, man. We got to be willing to do the knowledge to some things that people are afraid to do the knowledge to. And that's one thing that I pride myself on, man. I'm not afraid to read some things that a lot of people are afraid to read. Beast Reincarnated 2021 is going to be whatever type of year we want it to be. Whatever type of year we want 2021 to be, that's what it's going to be. Like it's going to be what it, like 2021 is going to be the movement. But like I said, I know y'all have done the knowledge to certain movements that were targeted by the government, what they call cults. Now, some of them was legit cults, and some of the people was just doing some strange things. But some of them wasn't necessarily that way. And they had to destroy those movements, man. They don't like with movements when people come together like that. Whether it's white or black people, they don't like those type of movements. They don't like it. Magic Realms, you say, do I have any book recommendations on secret government projects and the hidden agendas? Codex Magica is a good book. Codex Magica is a very good book. The Unseen Hand is another good book. There's some other stuff off the top of my head that I can't think about, but Codex Magica is definitely a good book. And The Unseen Hand is another good one. And it's another book. Man, I can't think of it off the top. I'm finna try to it's another good book, man. I gotta, it's at the tip of my tongue, man. I'm about to find the name of that book for you. Rule by Secrecy. That's it. That's another good one. Rule by Secrecy. And it's another book too. Population Control. Our corporate owners are killing us. I mentioned that in another video. And then $1 Trillion Conspiracy. That's another good one. This all by the same dude, Jim Marrs. So those are some good books. Yeah, Travian, that's a good one too. I forgot about that. Mr. AG, when it comes to staying in tune with our masculinity or enhance it, this is the first thing that I recommend. I break it down mathematically. The first thing that you got to do is knowledge of self. So you got to get in tune with who you are. Get in tune with yourself. That's important for the black man. That's important for the black woman. So when you say masculinity, you got to ask yourself, what does that really mean? What does that really mean to you? Then how does that relate to you and who you are and what you are interested in, your characteristics, your personality, things of that nature? Then you got to connect it. Like, how do you view masculinity and how does that relate to who you are as a person? Then when you start doing that and you connect those two, then you'll figure out what you need to do to enhance it or just live out that reality a little bit more. So you really got to get in tune with who you are, because when it comes to masculinity, when it comes to men, like, we express our masculinity in different ways. So it's not one universal way to express your masculinity and to be a strong male. It's not one universal way to do that. That's all subjective and relative to the individual, to the black man. So you got to find out who you are. The way that you will express your masculinity as a black man may not be the way that I express my masculinity as a black man. You may be a little more extroverted than me. And so I gotta express my masculinity in a different way, because naturally I'm a little more introverted. So I gotta do things differently in regards to expressing my true masculinity. And being a strong black man, I gotta move a little bit differently than you if you are an extrovert, things of that nature. So you got to get in tune with who you are as a black man as a man. Then you got to define what masculinity means to you. You got to connect them, and then you go from there. Cam Cooper, that's crazy. Which book you talking about? That's crazy. Shakira Jones, Papa. Man, I don't know how much that book running for now. I got it for probably like $12 back when I got it. I don't know how much it's running for now though. God Nollywood Jr. Peace. What's going on? Nero, in regards to polygamy, I personally, obviously, don't practice polygamy. I don't really too much care for it. And that's just, and then again, part of that too is just personality. I'm the type of person, and again, this is knowledge of myself. I'm the type of person that I would only be able to deal with one woman. Like, that's just my personality type, man. I'm not trying to, I'm not dealing with multiple. That just ain't me. So that's one of the reasons why I've never gravitated towards that. That's just me knowing myself. If polygamy is something that you feel like will work for you, and it's something that you feel like suits your personality type, go for it. I just know that that's not me. Like, that's not my personality type. Therefore, I don't necessarily fool with it or care for it, rather. Like, I do not care to be dealing with that many different personalities. Like, I love my sisters, but that's never something that I ever considered, thought about. I just knew that wouldn't work. That would not work. Yeah, Black Wall Street. But y'all, man, this been a good build, man. It's been a good stream. Again, it was spontaneous. Y'all know I tend to move, man. I get inspired. I read an article or something, and I feel like I got to jump on here and let y'all know something. So I touch on what I need to touch on. Again, we're going to get this knowledge gang back up and running. I'm going to create the criteria. I'm going to come down with it. It's about to be real. 2021 is about to be the year of the knowledge gang. They about to be in fear of us. But that's about to happen. So I'm going to spend the rest of this month working on that, coming together with the blueprint. And I'm going to let you all know, what needs to be done. You striving to be down with it. I'm going to let you all know that type of information. And I'm going to have a logo for y'all. I'm going to get this logo created. And then once you go through the process, man, it's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to send your way. That's how we going to operate. That's how we going to move, man. We can't let everybody be down with the situation. So we got to weed out the frauds from the people that's really about this life. So that's what we going to do, man. I'm going to spend some time. I'm gonna spend some time just coming up with that criteria, man. So I'm gonna build with y'all later on that, man. But y'all enjoy the rest of this Saturday, man. I'm about to kick back, chill out, probably do me a little bit of read, man, and just chill, man, because that's part of your health, man, getting the proper rest. So I got to make sure I do that. That's something that I don't do. So I got to make sure that I get that rest in. So y'all do the same, man. I'm out, y'all. Y'all enjoy this Saturday. Y'all enjoy your Sunday. Catch y'all again Monday. Y'all be easy. I'm out. Peace.